So today I'm going to knock this hive down to one or two mediums. It's 3 right now. I know that bottom one is empty. And because of this lowered upper entrance dealio that I tried on it, I think they get that knocked them back like it did with most of my colonies this year. Won't be doing that again. And so I'm gonna just knock them down, and then not just knock them down, but knock them down and put them in a cleaner box, because I suspect there is probably mold down there and gunk and garbage, and I just want to get rid of it so that they have a nice, dry, healthy, clean house to live in. So to inspect this hive, or just to move it really, instead of dismantling it and putting it back in the same spot, I'm just going to take that top box and I'm going to move it right there, and that might be it. It might be done. If there's more brood in this box, I might just rearrange some of the frames in the top box and just smack it all and crowd it all into a single box. Alright, here we go. So this hive, that top box, maybe the second top box, are going to go right over here. Alright, they're a little bit defensive. They're coming after me. So I'm going to spray them with my little spray bottle right there. So there's about one frame here in the middle that's got a small handful of bees on it. I seriously doubt there's any brood or anything going on there, so I'm just going to get rid of it. And as I suspected, this hive is a bit damp. Yeah. Whoops. So again, plenty of honey, but a lot of moisture got in this hive. Again, another wrapped hive that got full of moisture. Not a fan of that. Yeah, plenty of honey. I'll show you some of the moisture. Well, lots of honey. But look, I don't know if that's coming through on the camera, but some fuzzy mold happening. Yeah. Yeah. So I tried some different wraps this year, and I lowered the upper entrance on a few of my hives, including this one. And all of them so far have had excess moisture build up inside the hive, and it's definitely affected the bees. Lots of look at that, like the capped honey, but look at the moisture getting in. Look at this, right? I think this is a combination of defective supers and possibly the wrap, possibly that silver tape I was using, whatever it was. I ain't doing it next year. Just not doing it. Like this is heavy with honey. It's all wet. So it's my thinking that, you know, you get a wet hive and it just creates a unhealthy environment for the bees, and then, you know, they can't get out. They get torpor sets in, and they can't fly. They can't get out for cleansing flights. Some dysentery starts to happen, and then once dysentery starts to happen, they start cleaning up all that poop that might have, if it even has a little bit of nosema, they're gonna spread it around. I just took off 2 heavy mediums full of honey, and so I gave them sugar, and they didn't. You can see they obviously didn't eat it. If they have honey, they just ignored the sugar. This was the mountain camp method, the result of the mountain camp method. So, not great. Now, another thing too is I think this colony, this is one of the ones that I mated from a queen cell that I got last year, and they didn't mate, none of them mated well, except there's one over here, but I did that myself. So between these poorly mated queen, moisture getting into the hive and staying in the hive, and this wrap that I don't think helped them at all. I think it just kept the moisture in close to the hive. Anyway, full of moisture, no good. I need hives that don't have any kind of leakage situation on the go, or I need some better ventilation in these hives to just make sure that if there is moisture getting in, it has a way out, because this is not good. Here's another reason why I don't like, I only use the mountain camp method, or the dry sugar over the newspaper method of feeding the bees. I only do that when I'm really desperate, because afterwards you gotta clean up all this junk. Like now I'm trying to scoop up all this sugar, and half of it's just falling down between the frames, maybe falling down on the queen, doing things I don't want it to do. It's a mess. Okay, so now I've thrown all the sugar out of the way. It's not really pretty. Anyway, I can put the top back on. And honestly, I don't have high hopes for this hive. This little tiny, teeny, weeny hive. Yeah, I could put them into a nuke box, actually. Really? Yeah, you know what? They've been through enough. I'll let them settle into that box for a little while. But they might be better in an even smaller box. Anyway, that's it for today. Really not the greatest situation. Again, started off with a late season queen last year, mated late, didn't mate well, didn't go in with a strong cluster, had lots of honey but a small cluster, and yeah, just I didn't have high hopes for them to begin with. And the wrap and everything else I gave them, the silver wrap, none of that made any difference. So the main problem was I did have moisture get into that hive. It was wrapped. I don't know if it's my wrapping technique or if it was the furnace tape that I used to seal in the cracks between the supers. But again, lots of moisture. Let's just see. I can't see it, but anyway. Yeah, see all these frames. It's not like terrible amount of mold, or there's a bit of mold right there on that frame and some on the side, but that's sort of normal. So not too bad, but still, like I opened it up and I could everything was damp, right? There's a little bit of mold right there. So, not great. A little bit of moisture, a little bit of mold isn't the end of the world, but this is not great. This is a weak colony. So I think what's going to happen is this one and this one were both started from poorly mated queens, and they went into the winter without any kind of, they just didn't have strong clusters, and I should have combined them before the winter, and I didn't. And now I've got two little beehives living in medium boxes, and this one probably isn't even filling the box. This one's looking great. I don't think I need to touch this one. And whatever it is with this colony, it manages itself. It doesn't look like it ever needs any help, so I just leave them alone, and they do great. This one, it had some trouble going into the winter, and again, another one that was small because of this poorly mated queen situation. And but I gave them that sugar board, and since then they actually been doing well. And I put this little bit of wrap around them, and they seem okay. They look okay. And again, this one up here is perfect. And this is not a hive. But anyway, I got lots of drawn comb. I've had some of this comb around for a while. I think I'm just going to get into this really nice comb. It's dark comb, but it does the job. It still works. But I think I don't have a lot of really young comb yet, and I think I'm going to start churning out comb and just try to get my bees to always get at least one colony that I will use for making comb if they're, I don't know, seem to be good comb builders. But I want more fresh comb.